First off, if I could, just identify yourself for me.
Yeah, Ray Kasperowicz from Cohasset, running for the 10th Congressional District on the Republican side.
Why are you running for the 10th Congressional District seat?
Well, I made the decision a year ago that Congress was in bad shape, Washington was in bad shape, Congress specifically. They lost their common sense, they lost touch with Main Street, and I was going to change that.
Here today, you have Joe Malone also here with Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
Does that take a toll on you? What goes through your mind when you see that here?
Joe's a nice guy. Rudy's a nice guy. I like him. I like what he did for New York City. He's a little bit more liberal on some of the other issues. But he's a good man. Doesn't bother me at all.
Do you have any high-profile supporters aside from,
Absolutely not. No, I got friends, citizens like myself, small businessmen. I'm comfortable with who supports us. It's going to take an intelligent voter to see who the candidates are, get involved with those backgrounds, get to have an understanding of what I'm for. I have brought out more specific points for changing Washington and our nation's future than any other candidate. Specific points.
What are some of those points?
Well, I talked about the fact that the federal government has to shrink. They've all said that, but I'm the only one that has made specific comments. Commerce should be probably shrunk to half its size. The Energy Department can probably go. The Department of Education can probably shrunk to make from 4,000 people to perhaps a staff of 100 people. We have to do block grants to the states as opposed to having bureaucrats pushing paperwork down through the state and local bureaucracies. It's just a bureaucracy machine.
When I last spoke to you, you said you were going to Washington, D.C. for one specific reason. What is that?
One specific reason is to get the federal government under control, which means make it smaller at the same time that puts us less in debt, not more in debt, and at the same time has more capital for the private markets, which create jobs and innovation and a growing economy.
While you're there, are you going to be an independent thinker, or are you going to be standing behind the party leadership for the Republican Party if you're elected?
I think I'm going to be an independent thinker, but if the party leadership is conservative like I am, we'll be thinking similarly. But like I say, I'm going to be innovative. I have some things that I can bring to it that may be different, but I think I can sell what I want to do. For example, if there's a guy 40 years old or somebody like yourself who maybe is younger and you've put 50, 80,000, 100,000 into Social Security and you'd like to start your own business, you know what my thought is? You should be able to borrow it from the Social Security Administration. And if you never return it, then the Social Security Administration doesn't owe you as much. But it was a decision you made with your money. And that could spur the economy, give you an opportunity, and it's good for everybody, a win-win.
Talk about your background as a CPA.
Well, as a CPA, I've spent 40 years in taxes. What does that mean? It means I know what the alternative minimum tax does and how it hurts. I know what passive losses are. I know what the at-risk rules are. I know what 1031 exchanges are. Those are examples. I can go to Washington and I can talk about that knowledgeably now. I don't need staff to tell me what all that means. And also I know that if you make $50,000 a year, self-employed, and you're single, by the time you're done paying your taxes, you're going to be $3,000 to $4,000 in debt. That's wrong. It shouldn't be that way. Congress doesn't know that. Certainly Obama doesn't know that. I want to go down and tell them.
Your message for voters?
My message to voters is to carefully look at who you're voting for. Consider the man, what he stands for. I'm right off Main Street. That's exactly what Washington needs. Don't let the hype and stuff like that, the showbiz, get you distracted. And also, if you're voting on the Republican side, consider this, that two of these contenders are going to have trouble getting through the general election. The Democrats are going to come at them screaming, fighting, throwing every piece of slime and garbage they can at them. I don't have to endure that. I can just talk about the issues, and on the issues, Republicans win, Democrats lose.
Do you have a campaign website or a way for people to get in touch with you?
Yeah, Ray2010.com. There we go.